do it? All right, we got it right today. Hey, welcome to the Closing Beat, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Sorry for the mistake yesterday, but hope you enjoyed. I was able to post the full show if you want to pay attention to that or go check it out. This is the Closing Beat, a quick stock market update show that we do. I say it every day. We do it for our customers here. Thank you so much for those of you that have joined us. And, of course, those of you that want to watch, of course, you're happy to watch. We talk about the stock markets, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and we're also playing a game. It's called Guess the Dow. If you want, no strings attached, you can go to jazzwealth.com/guess the Dow. It's kind of a way to introduce us to you, right? But we don't do any marketing to you. We won't do anything. Just a chance to go play a game. If you like the game or if you win the game, we'll send you a $100 gift card. If you're one of our customers, you can play too. We'll credit your account $100. One of our customers won last week, actually, breaking a streak of 2 weeks where customers did not win. You guys won. But anyways, you just tell me where you think the Dow is going to close. Closest without going over is our winner. We will announce the winner every Friday, and Friday will be the next time we do that. We're also doing a jazz song of the day. You know, you look back there, you see a lot of jazz stuff going on. Your jazz song of the day is by Chet Baker. It's Over the Rainbow, if you've ever heard that. You can just hear the pain in that trumpet, man. Just a great play there. You can find that on YouTube or something. But just sharing the song. If you have a jazz song you want to share, let us know. You like jazz? Jazz is everything, by the way. It's not necessarily just the traditional jazz music, so we'll have some suggestions that maybe shock you a little bit. Hey, let's talk about the market. That's what we're here for. You got the Dow up 400 points, 37 on the S&P, 40 on the NASDAQ. NASDAQ lagging behind here a little bit today, but nonetheless at record highs. The NASDAQ's still there. The S&P also at record highs as well, just barely. Poked up there. That counts, right? Made new record highs, completely erasing all of the coronavirus concerns there. Very impressive, by the way, for the stock market to do that. You kind of hope that that's not it, and we just keep going higher from here. You're like, well, that 3%. That's all we got. But nonetheless, the S&P at record highs. The Dow and the Russell 2000 today outperformed the S&P and the NASDAQ, of course. The Dow not quite back to new highs just yet. The NASDAQ did close at new record highs. However, it did underperform the S&P and the it underperformed everything today, actually. The Russell 2000, obviously a very sharp recovery there for that index and had a great day today, up about 1.5% there. The focus on a coronavirus, if you're wondering, you go, what happened? Did the virus just go away overnight? Well, the analysts out there that are tracking this and the effect on the overall economy, they're actually, it's sort of sad, they're tracking the mortality rate. So that's going around all the fund managers right now, that's the main focus. And the mortality rate dropped by 2% off of its highs and now continues to decline. So it's good news, obviously, for people that are dealing with it, but those are officially the lowest. That's the biggest drop since this whole thing started, and the stats are available for that. So that was kind of the focus, at least initially here today. There was reports out of China overnight, specifically from the center of where this all started, that the Gilead Sciences drugs that they're trying to use, which we usually use for flus and things like that, they're effective, right? And so it's actually working over there. So that's very positive news out of China. Of course, we want everybody healthy in the world, get the world back to work and everything. But the only negative coronavirus-wise today was, I believe in Wisconsin, they reported that somebody had actually contracted it there. So other than that, just positive news for the overall virus, that this maybe kind of fades away, everything turns out good, Disney can open up their theme park again. That would be great. I know they want to. And so markets just mostly positive on the day. As the markets open today, we actually had positive news come out of our ADP private payroll numbers. I'm going to share that with you if you have a moment. Do you? Strong bounce in ADP numbers. Came in at 291,000 basically versus the 157,000 expected. So look at this. Strong, just incredible month-over-month change there. That's the best month-over-month change since 2015. You got to go all the way back here to May 2015. From April to May, that's the last time we saw a jump that was that big month-over-month. So obviously very, very good. And if you look at the number and break it out there, we're almost back to highs. So very good in terms of our overall economy there. People happy to see that. So with that in mind, you just have a couple earnings after hours here. You got Peloton. I believe shares are lower. Yeah, Peloton's down by about 10%. They beat on earnings. They still lose money. So earnings came in at 20 cents versus 36 cents or something like that. So they're expected to lose 36 cents a share. They only lost 20 cents a share. which is not bad overall there. They also said with the people that are connected, they're paying the $12.99 for the, where you hook up and you can do it live and everything, that those people were doing 13 workouts a month versus 10 workouts a month. I just thought that was fun to track. I mean, it has nothing to do with anything really, but overall Peloton still down about 10% on the day. What was it? $9 billion market cap? They don't make any money? Right? If you have to put money somewhere, is that the best place you could put your money? So that's Peloton in the news after hours. Let's see, go over to the shares there. It's had a nice rally recently here, but the pullback this after hours puts it right around the IPO price, just a little bit above it, $29.50 at the moment. So a sizable gap down headed your way for Peloton tomorrow. QCOM. We've got QCOM earnings after hours. They beat on earnings, beat on revenue. Looks like comments about the 5G. They said they're finally starting, or they're actually starting to see the results of the 5G efforts and obviously the launch of that. Guidance overall kind of mixed in general, but the stock just a touch lower, down about 1.5% on the day, $1.31. It's going to put it at 89.60-ish where it's at right now, so a really small move for QCOM overall. Let's do your sector breakdown here, and we'll get into some stocks. You got financials getting back to highs. This was that, if you back the chart up a little bit, we talked about this before, where the financials were hinting at a breakout. If you look like this, so you can kind of see the series of equal highs. It hinted at a breakout. Then we had a virus. Everything sold off. As of now, it's looking pretty good. Headed back towards highs. Financials strong on the day. You need financials to have a strong market. Today you had financials, just like yesterday. Semiconductors added 2% on the day. These are all broad rallies, by the way. If you dig inside of the semiconductor sector, you're going to find broad rallies pretty much across the board. In the semiconductors, Microchip was one of the better performers today. Earnings related up 6-ish percent, 6.5% on the day. And I noticed KLA 10 Core was one of the weaker ones. This has happened a couple times with this stock. This stock's really starting to show weakness on strong days. That's going to get noticed eventually. Today may have been the day. Down 4.25%. That one did not participate in the semiconductors. Other than that, around the market, it was a day of extended bounces. If you had anything that had sold off and kind of like fell like a waterfall, or some people say it went climactic or parabolic to the downside, today was the day that all of that recovered. We'll start with the price of oil. Oil strongly recovering today, up 3% on the day, an extended bounce, right? It was just oversold. It just briefly poked through those lows there. You got a lot of stop losses in there. And today, getting a little bit of a recovery. Naturally, anything related to that, Oil Explorers up 5.5% on the day. It was a real broad rally, whether you're looking at some of the popular names like Chevron or Apache. All of them had really strong days. Concho Resource, yeah, they were up too. 7.33%. Basically, all of them inside the XOP were up today. Energy back, the same thing, right? Extended decline to the downside, just a little bit of a bounce. Relief rally, some would say. And same with commodities in general. If you happen to be looking over in that space, rather sharp, falling off a cliff type decline there with a nice bounce. Metals and miners. Back to the 200-day moving average, same thing, just an extended drop. That's kind of the theme for the day. Same with healthcare, although not as bad. Healthcare obviously falling kind of sharply in the short term, which is good. I know some of you wanted a pullback in that one. Very quick recovery there. Now, part of this is going to be Bernie Sanders not doing as well in Iowa, and generally in the polls as and Elizabeth Warren as well, as some people had kind of expected. And then also in the State of the Union. Did you happen to watch the State of the Union address last night? Aside from all the garbage, where one side hates the other and the jibs and jabs and all that stuff. Did you happen to notice that there was not one comment about drug prices, right? Lower drug prices, fighting for lower drug prices, anything like that? Well, that is obviously very good news for the healthcare stocks today. And, that's it. Not going to be able to share the charts with you anymore for some reason there. So you had UNH, and just across the board, you had really strong, really strong. I mean, all that looked really good. Can I cheat? Oh, nope, it's not going to work. I was trying to trick it there for a second, sorry. But healthcare did really well also. Merck didn't get to participate because they had an earnings sell-off overall, which I think they beat on earnings. Everything was pretty good for them, so not too shabby there. All right, individual stocks today. You got Tesla falling $260. Yikes. Come on, man. That's almost $300. Isn't it funny? We were just talking about that yesterday. That's an impressive pullback. From highs yesterday to the lows today, $260 overall. Just an extended pullback, the opposite of what everything else did. Disney down 2.33% today. Remember, they beat on earnings, strong subscriber growth. No guidance on the Disney Plus. I think people were looking for that. That's what I read anyways. Didn't get anything there. And then, of course, they got a theme park closed, right? So that's not good news for them. Nike did mention, what am I doing here? Let's go over here. Yeah, we got Nike. So Nike had mentioned that this coronavirus is going to have an impact on them in their China market. I think the CEO was on Bloomberg earlier today mentioning the same thing. Little weakness, not too bad there in Nike. Capri, which is like Versace and Michael Kors, that's the brand that owns all of those brands, up 8% today, and they said that they expect a $100 million hit thanks to the coronavirus. That was a lot less than expected, but they beat on earnings, beat on revenue, looked good there. Ford, you might have noticed, plopped to new lows today, down 10% on the day. Missed expectations. They lowered guidance by $1 billion, by the way. Lowered their guidance by $1 billion. They dropped the range anyways. But other than that, I noticed a lot of analysts left their overall buy rating, but they just adjusted price targets. A lot of analysts think this is a deal down here. And so you didn't see very much in terms of downgrades where they just lowered price targets, downgraded it to a sell or anything. I didn't see a lot of that today. So people are still pretty much positive on Ford. Coty, these guys pretty much make any makeup, beauty stuff that you follow there, all the names. Pretty much, they make them. Got a pop on earnings today. Snapchat also, well, not a pop, but Snapchat fell today, down 15% overall. They beat on earnings, missed on revenue. Average revenue per user, they call it ARPU. Average revenue per user down as well, quarter over quarter. So the stock took a little bit of a hit there. And Take-Two Interactive, they lost a vice president, I believe, who was responsible for like the sort of the creative process behind Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, things like that. So a little bit of a hit to them, losing sort of a family member there. He didn't die, like he left the company, but that's seen as a bit of a hit in the short term. Stock lost about 5%. You got 67% of the S&P above the 50-day moving average. That's a 7-point pop today. That's a 22% pop in the last 3 days, sorry. That's impressive, right? That's why we track these numbers and notice that stuff. You got 67 new 52-week highs today, basically the same as yesterday. I think we had 64 or so. You had really massive moves to the upside here, IBM being one of them. Did you see IBM today? So IBM almost looking like a little Tesla, right? The CEO leaves the company. The stock ends up 15% higher since they reported that. That was just 4 days ago. It was just 4 days ago that they said the CEO was going to be stepping down, moving on. This IBM at this point, even with this run, 5% gain on the day, 15% over the last 5 days, still has one of the lowest valuations in the tech sector for the S&P, still has one of the highest dividend yields in the tech sector for the S&P, even at this price today. So kind of interesting. Did a little study to find out so there have been 14 other times that IBM has rallied over 10% in 5 days or less. 14 other times. In its entire history, there's only been 14 other times. The average decline, because the average is a decline, over the next 5 days is about 1%, 5 days after. So we look to see, all right, had 5 strong days up, over 10%. What happens the next 5 days? Down about 1%. So statistically expecting a little bit of a pullback there. In fact, it was only positive 5 days later, 6 out of the 14 other times. So we'll see what happens. That'll be something we'll track going forward there. The biggest pullback is about 50%, by the way. Not 50, it's 50% of the gains. So, right, so it rallied 13%. This was in 2008. It's October 2008, if you want to check it out. Rallied 13%, gave back 7. So it gave back about half of the gains there. That's the biggest loss there. I don't know why I went off on that tangent there. I was just sharing it with you. Allstate, Biogen also higher today. 9 healthcare names. You had Paycom, which is a new S&P stock, by the way. That was the bigger surprise to the downside. Made new highs, 52-week highs, and it pulled back. But I believe they have earnings coming out. They may have had earnings just come out, actually. They sure did. So Paycom, remember, that's the latest addition to the S&P 500. Looks like they beat on earnings, beat on revenue. Shares are still down. So somebody had a heads up, huh? That stock was down about 4.5% on the day. Prior to releasing out their earnings, right? Yep. Earnings are just now coming out. I believe shares are a little bit lower, quite a bit lower here after hours. Anyways, that's Paycom if you happen to be interested in that. What else? No 52-week lows. ExxonMobil got a bounce. H&R Block got a bounce. Simon Property Group got a bounce. Those were some of the names that were on the 52-week low list before. Not too bad. I will take a chance and answer your questions here if I can. Before that, Casper, that's the new, Casper mattress sleeping company. They lowered their range today. So they were going to come out at a price range IPO at 17 to 19. They brought it down to 12 to 13. That launches tomorrow, so that'll be in the headlines as well. And if you like Bitcoin, Bitcoin's flirting with the 10,000 number again. That'd be the first time since, in over 3 months that it's been to the 10,000 number. I know you Bitcoin people are out there. Come on. You're excited. What else do we have here? Tomorrow earnings. We got Bristol Myers. You got Cardinal Healthcare, CDW, Estee Lauder, Kellogg's, Philip Morris, Tyson, the food company, Twitter in the morning, and Yum Brands. Yum China was the other day, so Yum Brands, this will be U.S. and other markets. Then after hours, you got ATVI, T-Mobile, Uber, and Wynn. Very interesting mix there. We'll be looking forward to seeing, obviously, Uber, but also Wynn and the effects of the coronavirus for them, because they have casinos closed as well. You got dividends coming out from Costco, 65 cents on Costco, 33 cents on Intel, and JB Hunt, 27 cents overall. All right, I'll take a shot and answer some of your questions if I can. Oh, you got some Exxon. All right. Yeah, it was a good move today. Extended bounce there and added almost, 5% on the day? Still with some room to run there. It's still extended even at this point, so looking good. Good job. Is this healthy to jump back in 3 days this quick? No, not in my opinion. Now, we went through a really low period of volatility, next to no volatility. Currently, even with this market wiggling around here, do you know that that's not even above average? So think about what happened. We went through last year with very low volatility. We all were just getting used to nice, calm up days. And now the markets wiggle around and you think something's wrong. Actually, this is about normal for a normal market inside of a year. So I still expect that to continue, but we'll see. No, it's definitely not normal. I promise you there is not one person that when the market fell the other day said, give it a couple days, we'll be back to highs again. Just didn't exist. It's the rally that nobody really saw coming, in my opinion, and what I thought as well. Yep. Tesla, buy the dip or short it. There's actually many studies on this. When a stock goes parabolic or any product goes parabolic and starts to pull back, you never buy the first dip. That's not my opinion. That is statistical studies. Just going back, we did one a long time ago. But when a stock goes parabolic and it starts to pull back, you don't need to be the first one to buy in there. It tends to be a little bit sloppy in there, hard to decide. But I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just trying to refer the stats there. That's funny. That's hilarious. All right, cool. I wouldn't do anything with Tesla ATM. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Well, that's your opinion there. You've got Morton. Buddy, you got to tell me who you are, man. I think I know who you are. You have a small account, and I've pointed that out numerous times that we charge a $75 a year minimum. And if your account stays small, it's not fair to you. I've pointed that out numerous times that for small accounts, we're not the best deal. I promise you, and I mentioned that. And the reason we do that is because I can't have 1 million small accounts. You know what I mean? I would love to, but I can't support it. And so we have that minimum charge for the classes and for the planning and everything. But I totally understand. I've had people come and go in the past that have just said, look, I can only put in like $500. And I go, it's not fair to you. You really should move on because it's just going to look like you're getting killed because of the $75 a year minimum fee. Now, if I can change that in the future, and I'm playing with it, if I can find a way to do that without and expand without sacrificing what we do for all the other customers and the things that we like to teach and stuff like that, of course, I would be happy to do that. But for right now, I could totally understand if that's the case. Wish I could help you a little more specifically if I knew who you were. But for now, we'll go with that. You're waiting for the market to go down 20%. When will that happen? I mean, I don't know. I mean, you would have thought that this would have been the crack in sort of the armor over the last couple of days, but even a global virus can't take this market down right now. So it's tough, you know. I mean, last October, November, December, we fell 20%, and that was it. We just recovered right away. I mean, usually you have a 20% drop, and then there's a period of digestion. There's a period of people still being scared to buy the market, and that didn't happen. I mean, people just dove right into there. That's crazy. When will you, Canadian accounts, I can't do Canadian accounts. It's not, I mean, I'd have to partner with somebody up there. It's just a registration issue. There's so many rules we got to follow. I love it. Could you pay the minimum for the dojo? Could you? I mean, technically, I couldn't stop you. I wouldn't suggest it, of course, but there's no way I would know. There's no way I could stop you from doing that. Over the course of a year, you'd end up with no money, but I've had people try that in the past. Yeah. I like it. When you open an account for your Roth IRA for your wife, you say you're oh, cool. I like it. Nice. Yeah, I find that a lot of spouses these days, and I know this is against a lot of gurus that say this, but a lot of people have a spouse that just takes care of that stuff. And I don't think that's a bad thing, right? In my situation, I'm more the money guy. My wife knows that. She's the medical person. If I so much as sneeze, I run to her and go, what happened? I don't know. Tell me what to do. And she laughs and all this stuff. But, that's her thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I have a lot of customers that say, I'm going to be here with my wife and everything, but she's probably not going to be around a whole lot. She likes to get the summary versus the details. And as long as you have a trusting relationship, I think that's fine. Yeah. ExxonMobil. Now we got a fan. ExxonMobil fans there. You think it's on sale? I mean, I would agree. That's on sale. What did it fall over the last, what do we got here? Just that drop over the last, since we hit the low 19 days ago, that's over 10%. It's 13%. So, yeah, can't blame somebody. Where you have a market that you can't find discounts anywhere else, and if you do find discounts, you tend to find them in non-profitable companies that are pulling back. That makes you a little nervous. Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah. You think Tesla has a chance to be added to the S&P? Volatility has to come in check there. The S&P will definitely not consider it until that volatility gets in check. And right now, it's not a concern. It's volatile. I love it. The rally was because of huge Chinese. And yeah, no, you're right. I covered that in the beginning. Thankfully, I hit the button, so it's at the beginning of the show here. But yeah, definitely covered that. Did I get everything, by the way? You got the news yesterday about Macy's closing 125 of its stores. By the way, that's why you saw the other stocks higher today. You saw like Kohl's higher, obviously a high dividend, but big losing stock at the moment. Kohl's was higher by 6.5%, all on that Macy's restructuring thing. It's seen as good news for them. I think Nordstrom's was even higher. Nordstrom's added 6% on the day. So all that coming from, and they got an upgrade today, $39, which is basically where it's at. But that's it. I love it. Now I missed it, man. I'm sorry. You do a little bit every week. Okay, cool. Email me and tell me who you are, right? Because you're not using your name, so that I can actually look at your account and see, right? I'll give you the honest advice. I'll see what's going on there. If it's small and you're just adding a little bit there, I'm going to keep that opinion. But no, that actually does. I still do follow the weekly deposits. Keep it small, weekly deposits. Yep. I like it. Carnival's on. It's one I didn't look at today. Oh, yeah, still selling off there. I believe there were 2 other ships somewhere that were quarantined in Japan. I don't think they were Carnival, though. I think they were... No, they weren't Carnival. No, not that I can tell. But yeah, those stocks obviously beaten down just a little bit as well. Yep. Should you do $6,000 for your wife now or keep... so I get that question a lot. Should you do a lump sum, for example, the $6,000, or should you do weekly deposits? So what I did, we did the study that Morton's referring to, weekly over monthly deposits, because I know a lot of people, they can't afford to do lump sum, they can't afford to do some bigger number during the month, and they just want to ease into it. So we compared weekly versus monthly. Weekly beats it hands down over monthly, but lump sum deposits always beat the weekly or monthly deposits, right? And it doesn't matter. We even did a study to say what happens if you did a lump sum deposit at the very top of the market. Every time you did a lump sum deposit, you still beat the dollar cost averaging people as well. So that's something I've just, in my off time, I've kind of worked on putting that together so we could show weekly, monthly versus lump sum at the first of the year, middle of the year, and the end of the year, just to break it down. I like that kind of stuff. So just to do that. I don't know. Snapchat, yeah, this is a rough one for Snapchat there. Oh, Princess. Oh, they are. Let me see then. Was it Princess there? Princess Cruises quarantines 3,700 for 2 weeks. Oh man. Hey, that's kind of like a 2-week cruise though, right? I mean, they got to feed you and everything. You're right. Yep, that's the one in Japan. Thanks. It's the Diamond Princess. Huh. I'm trying a new news filter thing, so sorry if I'm messing with you there. Penn National, I keep hearing about that one. Obviously, their investment in Barstool, it's so far so good, and the audience that they've attracted to go buy that stock because of it probably has something to do with the recent rise there. You got a lot of people that normally probably don't think about investing that all of a sudden see their idols and people that they follow investing. So that one's done well. Yep, they might bought a minority stake in, and they also had earnings at the same time. I believe earnings were good for them, but no, they haven't had earnings yet. It's on the way there. But yep, I don't have any comments about it. I mean, it's been a good run for Penn. Sorry if I missed any of your questions. There's some of them. Keep going. Qualcomm, yeah, we were just looking at that. Is it still down? It was just a little bit. It was just a touch lower. Qualcomm now positive after. Yeah, no, it's positive now. So just that normal after-hours trading. Nope, sorry, it's negative. It was positive, now it's negative. So just bleeding off a little bit. That's actually still below the expected move for the stock. So I don't think there's, I mean, I see the earnings beat there. I don't think there's any real reason to assume that that's anything crazy. They were pretty positive on the 5G there. I just was trying to pull up real quick. Expected move was $4.40. They're still within the expected move for the all the after-hours traders and the options traders as well. It's only down $3, less than $3. Yeah. The excitement of earnings, huh? Chipotle was same store comps. They had been guiding higher and higher and higher and higher. All of a sudden, they say, nah, we're basically in line. We're good with that. And so people get used to rapidly growing there. They didn't give it to them this time. So Chipotle got hit a little bit. Only 3.5%. It's not too big of a deal there. Other than that, they did good. Beat on earnings by 11 cents. Revenue's better than expected. People love their Chipotle, man. They love it. Oh, Roger doesn't like Chipotle. Oh, man. I don't get to go as much as I used to, but I highly disagree. Now, I'm a one-man thing. Like, when I go there, I get the same thing every single time. So I've never really tested anything else. I know what I like. I'll stick with it. I love it. All right, well, I'll wrap it up there. I appreciate you coming and hanging out with us today. We'll be back tomorrow to do this all over again. And, yeah, hopefully it helped you in some way. And enjoy. So we'll see you then. And thanks for stopping by.
Hey, wait! Before you go watch one of our other great videos, have you had a chance to see our new Fin Tips videos? They focus on one topic at a time, covering investing, personal finance, and anything that can quickly help you with your dough. Best of all, we'll keep it real short, because we know time is money.
Why should you choose Jazz Wealth as your retirement or long-term investing service? Our portfolios are managed by us, not some faceless mutual fund manager. Our private classes will teach you everything about investing and getting your dough straight. Best of all, our fiduciary standard means your best interest comes before ours.